David Wu and I, who's the CEO of Motus, we spent probably the better part of the last decade or so trying to make sure that this system could be used in an autonomous way.
Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Nick Halsey with Motus Nova. I'm a licensed neurophysical therapist and neuroscientist helping brain injury survivors understand how to make functional gains after their injury. I hope this video helps you in your recovery.
So does this device work similar to like an E Stim? Because I use E Stim to stimulate my finger movements.
No, not at all. It is very, very different than E Stim. And it is very different because this does not rely on exogenous stimulation. Exogenous being outside. E Stim is you slap an electrode on and it delivers current through your skin and then your muscles and it causes them to contract.
Yes.
This works on a process of trying to get your brain to reconnect with your muscles. And so this is relying on, focusing on more of an endogenous control, right? Let's get your brain working without that help. So it's more of a kinematic-based system insofar as it can provide help, but it also helps you actually learn to re-engage those muscles independently.
So how does the device, in a nutshell, or work to get my hand to move?
Sure. Yeah, so like I was talking to Bryce earlier, what it does is it helps you walk through a series of movements, right? It has a series of games, and those games require you to move. And how it does this, and you basically, the movements that you can do, your kinematics and the forces, are digitized. So those are sensors there that actually can capture that data and make a virtual environment, like you're controlling an avatar or you're controlling a spaceship or a car. And those motions get played back to you. And that's that learning stimuli. And how it helps is there's actually a muscle on board that can help contract and relax, just like your muscles can. And so by nature of, we can sense very, very small degrees of movement and amplify or initiate your movements. So if you have trouble starting a movement, it can start it and kind of kickstart things and see if you can continue that motion. And then it can also amplify that by continuing to contract. And through that process, you will do a series of repetitive tasks over and over and over again. And through that process, we'll regain that range of motion, that strength, and that volitional control.
So the device, does it go all the way up my arm or just from about the elbow down?
Elbow down, exactly. Yep. And despite that, we also saw improvements up the kinematic chain too. So we saw improvements in the shoulder function and the elbow function as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Does somebody need to come and install it where I am?
Nope.
Or I can self-install, or my wife can install it?
Yep, exactly. That's actually one of the nice things about this is we spent David Wu and I, who's the CEO of Motus, we spent probably the better part of the last decade or so trying to make sure that this system could be used in an autonomous way, right? We've learned a lot through the clinical trials over the years where we had to effectively start off with a clinical deployment. Like, how does this work if I'm there with you, Howie, and we were to do this together? But then, okay, well, let's take it to the next step and let's see, could we deploy this in the home environment? And then we would go out to the home and see if it could work in the home. And then we recently made the big step about a year and a half ago where, okay, let's try to ship it to people and see if we can make sure that it can work independently. And we learned a lot over all those clinical trials, or those decade or so of clinical trials, and we're able to to do this successfully without having to be there in person. And that's a big advancement.
Okay, will there be any requirements to like download an app so like my
Nope.
phone? Or
Nope, it comes with the actual robotic part that goes on you, and it comes with its own computer, and that computer houses the touch screen as well.
Hey, if you're finding this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe to help other brain injury survivors learn how Motus Nova is changing neuro-rehab.
So there's no need for any other technology. You just need an outlet for power and Wi-Fi for internet. Outside of that, you're good to go.
Power means to charge it.
Pardon?
You mean like power to charge it, right? Because I'm not going to be connected to a wall.
Oh, yeah, it would need to be a wall outlet. That's correct.
Okay, so how do I get out away from the wall? Is there a battery pack or something I have to carry with me
No, there's no battery pack. Remember, it's a dedicated therapeutic device, right? So you will use it like you were doing rehab. You would sit down at your desk or sit down on a chair, and you would use it at a fixed location for a while. Yep. And so people would do their hour of therapy on it or 2 hours of therapy on it, and then yeah, it doesn't have to move around.
I see. So it's not something that I take with me if I go out the house to travel.
Precisely.
I
Precisely.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
You're welcome to travel, right? We have people who bring their Motus hands around with them when they go around the country. But yeah, it is not, it's different than an assisted device. This is what we call a dedicated therapeutic device.
I see. I see.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions, Howie?
No, I don't have any questions right now. I guess I have to see some of the videos to get a
Sure.
little familiar with it.
Yeah, yeah. And all those videos are available either on YouTube or on our actual page. And I would very much invite you to join the support group and kind of see other people's videos as well of them using it.
Yes, that'll be great. Now,
Okay.
somebody email me links to that so I can?
I will make sure that an email gets sent to you with all that information.
And you folks have a Facebook page and all that too.
Yep.
That has.
Yep, we do. Yep.
Live.
Yep. Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So you are welcome to jump on there and jump on the support group. And I'm there, so you can always ask me questions. Just make sure you tag me on there, and be sure to jump in and try to answer your questions.
Okay, great. So please send links to that as well, so I
Very
get the
good.
right page. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Of course, Howie. Okay, all right. So I'm going to go over to my next guest. Before I do that, I want to just thank everyone for being here. I want to welcome Heather and Robin and Stacy. And actually, Howie, Stacy has mentioned here that we've got a great Facebook support group. Yeah, and it's a pretty good support group. There's around 1,600 members, I think, at this point, and a lot of really good insights come into that support group. But it's not just Motus things, right? It's also just general, motivation, general troubleshooting, general neuro rehab things. So there's a lot of cool resources there as well.
Thanks for watching this video. If you have questions or would like to speak with me about how you can make functional gains from home, call or text me at 404-939-3476 or visit motusnova.com/contact.